it already seems that we are running through a scientific fiction movie with the type of topics that we have already discussed. It is a wonderful, I would rather congratulate Dr. Vijay Agarwal and the team of organizers to looking forward to one of the very important topics like digital transformation in healthcare nowadays. I'm a neurosurgeon by profession and a great proponent of use of technology in healthcare. Earlier, it used to be when we were studying that man behind the machine was important. But now is the time when machine behind the man, it has become important. Now, as a clinician, our results are improving because we are using machines, we are using better technology, we are using artificial intelligence in our diagnosis, in our prediction of diagnosis, management protocols, and predicting prognosis in patients. Just based on this, our next topic for discussion is role of artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things, and what is the future for them. Since many of us would not be really sure about how it is being done nowadays, I'll just give a brief about that. Artificial intelligence is not just one technology, but it is a collection of multiple of them. It simplifies the lives of doctors, patients, and hospital administrators by performing tasks that are typically done by human beings, but in lesser time, in much more accurate fashion, and in a fraction of the cost. And the key categories nowadays of its applications, it involves diagnosis and treatment recommendations and administrative activities in addition. For a brief about Internet of Things, it is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical or digital machines. It could be objects or people, but they could be provided a unique ID and ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human to human or human to computer interaction. Now I would want to invite Mr. B. Vamsi Krishna, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Durank, to discuss the topic, which is AI-based surveillance, a game changer. Krishna has 25 years of cross-functional management experience in project management, operations, technology, infrastructure, people and customer management. In his extensive experience in dealing with cross-cultural teams and customers from across the globe. It will be very interesting to know, Krishna, what you are going to tell us about the AI-based surveillance, and over to you for your talk.
Thank you very much, Dr. Naveen. It's an honor for me, and I'm very grateful to be part of this elite sessions from CAHOTECH. I'm really thrilled, actually, to know the level of the depth of understanding and the level of adoption in the healthcare industry for technology, especially coming from an outsider perspective. I come from a surveillance industry, as you can see, from a surveillance perspective. When I see from the outside world, it's quite thrilling for me to be here, and I'm happy to share some of the thoughts. The idea is right now for me to sow the seed in terms of what is possible in surveillance. To be done more, and then we can take it from there. So basically, we're looking at surveillance perspective on what it can do for the healthcare industry and especially for hospitals. We have, we have two eyes, and the eyes are the ones that take in information and the brain processes it. So when the brain processed the information that it receives from the eyes, brain did not keep quiet. It created from the two eyes, it created a third eye. And the third eye is the AI, which is the artificial intelligence. This artificial intelligence, the third eye, they did not keep quiet with just the two eyes. It connected all the eyes all across, which is, when I say eye now, I mean the cameras that are around. So all the cameras that can see everywhere, all of them are getting interconnected, and then the brain, the AI, can process that information, the video information, and derive useful insights. So this third eye, which is the AI, is as powerful as the third eye of Lord Shiva. The reason is basically because it can interconnect with all the eyes that we have all across. We can see places where we're not physically present. We have become omnipresent, and then we can gather. So this third eye doesn't give us sight, but it gives us insight in terms of what is possible to be done. So this is what we are familiar with in terms of surveillance, CCTV, as normally everybody would be aware of. So what we do in healthcare or hospitals typically is there's a lot of planning that goes in terms of where the cameras should be placed, where they should not be placed, considering all the permutations and combinations and privacies, etc. And then after that, the cameras are installed, and then you forget everything about that. Only you will care for it only when something happens, some incident happens, and that's when you need to see what has happened. Then you go back, try to get the video recordings, the video footage, and try to gather the evidence, and then see what action next is to be taken. So it's the passive approach that we have for surveillance so far. Now, from this, and what we wanted to do is it possible to do more? And that's the question we grappled with at Durang, and then that's how Durang was born. Yeah. When what we have built is a solution that can connect to all the cameras, irrespective of their make and models, because you may have different makes and models, a mix of cameras, whether it could be IP cameras or analog cameras. I think I can use some of these words, IP, analog, etc., because I can see the audience have a lot of understanding of technology now. Before the presentation, I was not so sure if it is okay for me to talk some terms, but yeah, I think I'm comfortable now. So basically, be able to connect all your existing cameras, and then through any network, you could have one branch, you could have 50 branches, and then be able to centrally take in all that cameras to connect for centralized management, centralized remote viewing. It could be centralized viewing, or it could be remote viewing on your mobile devices directly based on the location you can select securely. So, on type from any network, that's the core, the first pillar of the solution, the founding pillar of our solution is that. And the second pillar is to be flexible and scalable, because the needs are different. The kind of storage that you would need for a camera, the entrance would be different versus the camera that you would keep inside the pharmacy, for example. So you would need that flexibility in terms of the resolution of the data that you are storing, in terms of the number of base that you want to store. All that is possible with the solution. The third pillar is being fully secure solution, and we can never understress the importance of security. I think a lot of panelists also talked about, even Dr. Elliott was speaking about cyber security. We are a cloud native solution, however, it can be deployed on-prem as well. So we have a lot of flexibility in terms of the deployment models, but no matter how you deploy, the security is at the core of the solution. Then you can group cameras across from different groups, when you have multiple locations, grouping of cameras, and then watch what is of interest for each person. The fourth and the most important pillar of the solution is the AI, the artificial intelligence, which takes in the data, the video feed that comes from all the cameras, and then processes that, analyzes that information, and gives you insights that you can act upon. It can raise notifications and alerts. This is all based on computer vision and machine learning, wherein we build neural network models that are suitable for specific use cases and specific detection of specific anomalies, etc. Because typically, the AI that is workable for an automobile scenario, the network models that work there will be slightly different from the network models that we need for in a hospital scenario. So that's what we customize the solution for specifically. Yeah. And obviously interoperability, and the earlier speaker as well spoke about interconnecting all the data points. So the data that is derived from the surveillance information also needs to be input into the other solutions, other systems, so that you can take action and you can improve, whether it is operational process improvements, patient and staff and infrastructure safety and security, and ultimately improving the customer service and customer satisfaction, which is the end goal of any solution. So we talk about more, and but what is that more that we can do in this through the AI? Before we get to defining what is more, let's look at the first things. And we have the cameras. Now we intend to transform the eye to AI using artificial intelligence. And then what do we want to get out of that? We want to be able to understand what is going on around in the facility, have situational awareness, and then pose real and near real-time alerts so that appropriate action can be taken. Because cameras are witness to everything that happens 24/7, whether we are there or not. And if we can tap into that information and understand what's going on, we will be able to improve our overall processes. And it also eliminates the fatigue, the reliability issues, and the consistency issues associated with human monitoring and human analysis. So we can record this information, the data, the events that get triggered out of the analysis can be recorded, not only for taking an immediate action, but also for trend analysis over a period of time, so that we can understand and take appropriate actions. We can do a better risk management, better compliance. We will go through a few of the use cases in a couple of next slides. But all of that is possible through the implementation of a smart surveillance solution. Not only taking an immediate action, but also automating some of those actions. Like, for example, if you find an intrusion in the pharmacy during off hours, it can sound a hooter or an alarm. It's possible to do that. So there is possibilities to automate some of the actions that we need to take as well. So that is what finally we want. So to get there, what is it that we do more? How do we do that more is, these are some of the examples from our perspective. As I said, it's an outsider's perspective, and I'm happy to hear some of the thoughts from the panel and the members here. Situational awareness, whether it is in terms of a crowd getting formed in emergency areas or patient waiting areas, so that you get a notification immediately and take appropriate action that's required. It could be no staff present either at the nursing station or at the reception area, especially during night times when you are not fully staffed or when you are understaffed. These real-time notifications will help a lot in terms of taking immediate corrective actions. Yeah, and more are we can do compliance and risk management checks, whether people are wearing the PPE kits or not. Let's say, for example, when they enter an ICU, whether they're doing that or not. You can track all the vehicle movements that come in automatically. So you have a track of, there is no need for anybody to enter manually all the records of vehicles coming and going. It's also possible to check if there are any vehicles or objects blocking in the ambulance pathway, for example. Any other anomaly detection. It could be as simple as the used plates not getting cleaned in the corridor for more than period of time, or it could be people rushing through the corridors, running through the corridors. So any of these valuable insights that can help you understand around your daily operations, they can facilitate better patient care and build effective quality measures to improve the overall satisfaction. And here are some more of the use cases that we can look at. Whether there is any patient left alone unattended, whether it's a patient falling down, the system can detect automatically if somebody falls down. Whether any wheelchair patient is moving alone without any attendant. Similarly, tracking of high-risk patients moving out from their designated areas, etc. On objects blocking the pathways or fire escapes. Some of these use cases, basically ensuring the physical safety of patients and visitors is as critical as responding to the medical needs of the patients. So with that perspective, these are some of the examples that we can do more with surveillance, with the cameras and becoming intelligent through the system. And there are some specific custom requirements that we worked on as well, which is basically during the COVID times, where the water meter level was to be read hourly and then stored along with the image. If the level goes down below a predefined value, then you sound a reorder, requirement for reorder alarm levels to send an email to the specific person. Then similarly, checking for the ice formation, check an hourly basis if there is any ice formed on the vaporizers. If it is so, then notify the exact person. So when we talk about all this, the notifications and real-time actions, I think it was Mr. Arvind, Dr. Arvind, who was mentioning that too many alerts will spoil So basically, if you see everywhere flashing red, then you actually forget, or you don't take action on things that you need to take action on. That's where the AI helps to ensure that you don't get false alarms, and that's what we work on, whether by improving the neural network models specific to the healthcare. So all of this is to increase the efficiencies and to improve the patient care. The healthcare industry has always been on the forefront of using technology. Now, there is no problem that is silly. There is no problem that is unsolvable. The possibilities are definitely limitless of what we can do, as we saw only some of those examples, actually. So I was not very sure in terms of what we could present as the viable use cases in terms of what is possible. And I'm reminded of our beloved CAHOTECH president, Dr. Vijay Agarwal. When I met him recently, he was mentioning that WhatsApp, we all use WhatsApp, and WhatsApp was not built for healthcare, he said. And basically, but now WhatsApp is probably the most used telemedicine tool. With all the people sharing all across all the x-rays, reports, prescriptions, whatnot. So that has become the most used telemedicine tool, which was not the intention when that was built. And similarly, Durang have built a platform that we can do more with surveillance using existing CCTV cameras. And the possibilities are endless. Where it could take us in future, we do not know. And this session, I take it as the opportunity for me to just sow the seed in your minds, to think in those lines and see with your fertile and capable ecosystem of your brains, see where this can grow into the future. And we cannot predict that future. But then I'd like to end with a quote from one of my all-time favorite leaders, who was Abraham Lincoln, who said, "The best way to predict future is to create it." And we are here ready to create that future along with you. And I'll end with that. Thank you very much again for your time.
Thank you, Krishna. It was a wonderful talk, and actually an eye-opener what all we can do with our existing camera systems. A question or two. First, you talk about different scenario where Durang can be used. So if a hospital, for example, installs your system, so do we have to tell you about all the risks that we want to qualitatively get analyzed from Durang?
Yes, sir, definitely. As I said, these are some of the use cases that we think of from an outsider perspective. But what is specific, what is more useful for your scenario, we would need to know from you, and we would also need a lot of data, because training the system takes a lot of input data for AI, for us to train the system. So we gather all the data from the cameras, the feed that comes in, understand what is the valid alarm triggering point and what is not a valid alarm triggering point, and then send you the notifications.
And the TAT for alert can be as soon as immediately.
Yes, it's real-time alerts, yes.
So you are doing just the analysis of the data, or you're doing storage of the data also on cloud?
Storage as well. Both are possible. The continuous recording of the camera feed as it is, but I think most of the hospitals already have their NVRs or DVRs that are used for the regular storage of the video feed. But what we do store, we have the capability to store even that as offsite on the cloud. Also, the event metadata, what we call, like when the event is triggered, brief image and the video of that particular event gets stored on the cloud for you for anytime access.
Thank you, Krishna. It was really wonderful to have you here, and it was actually nice what all can be done now.
Thank you, Dr. Naveen. Pleasure.